everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing Sunday. I've got two border collies tearing around at my feet. They are very excited to be outside because it's really lovely and warm today. And look, the bees are back. The solitary bees are back, and that tells me that spring is finally here. All of the snow is gone, hopefully, and things are going to get better. Things are doing great in my greenhouse, at least when Mr. Ghost isn't trying to pull it down as he was just doing there. These are my peppers, they're doing great. Some of my tomatoes were potted up from last week. They are doing pretty well. There's a couple that are not doing so great, but most of them are doing okay. I've got some of my orchids out here enjoying the sunshine at last. My geraniums, they didn't really do so well through the winter, but that's okay, we can get some more. And here we've got some more tomatoes. And as you may or may not have noticed, there's Mr. Ghost. And there is Miss Sky, who is doing the perfect thing. She's being very grown up and she's being quite well behaved. I have finally cut the lawn. It has been a long time coming, and yes, I know some of you have suggested alternatives to lawns, and we are looking into them for future seasons. I don't want to tear up stuff that's already here. I'm not going to set any more lawn, not that I can because I don't have any more space on my property, but I'm hoping in the future that we can encourage some more native species, and this is a native mix that we put here, so hopefully that's good. And when I say we put here, this was here when we moved, but we have, when we've reseeded it to cover bald spots, we've used a native mix. I know we have lots of bumblebees that have overwintered down in little tunnels, so I don't want to disturb it too much yet. But look, my apple trees are finally coming in. We've got some blooms coming. Now this is an apple tree that's one of those dwarf trees that has multiple different varieties on them. So that's pretty cool. And the same is true for my cherries, which is why we've got some blooms here on some of these branches, and some of them have not really kind of got into the flow of it yet. That is why. And the same thing here. But this is actually just one apple tree. This is the same apple tree variety as a couple of other apple trees that are older that we have on the property. And so the reason we have those is so that we encourage cross-pollination, and we encourage everything to go well there. Sky, why are you eating a pine cone? Because it's tasty. You silly girl. Things are doing well with the potatoes and the parsnips. They're growing up really nicely. And yesterday when I had a day off, I'm actually filming this on Thursday, so it was Wednesday when we had a day off. I actually cut out the front here and I replaced some of my box hedge that had kind of passed away last year. So this one, and that one are all new. My potatoes are doing great, and look, I spy a potato shoot even, which is good and very exciting. Ghost, come away from there, please. He's like, I am peeing on the lamppost to prove that it is mine, which is what he does. They are really enjoying having some time out and being able to be outside and enjoy themselves, which is great, because having dogs and not allowing them to be outside when the weather is nice, it's never particularly good fun. I feel sorry for poor old Michael who's got to colour this because it's super bright, and then right here we're going into the darkness. You can see I've made some pretty impressive changes to things. I actually put some onions in there, believe it or not. I don't know if they're going to survive. I think someone has been in there and churned up stuff. I have put some blueberries in, and we have some shoots. Looks like we have some peas finally coming up here, which I'm very excited about. There's one there. There's one, there's another one I spotted this morning. Oh yeah, right there. So we've got some peas that are coming up. And we've also got the beans coming up over here. the broad beans or the fava beans. There was one somewhere in the middle there where the steaks are. But we have some other veg coming up here, which I'm very excited to see. My raspberries, they are doing great. Check them out. They're really starting to grow nicely. My strawberries are finally uncovered from the winter, and they have survived both there and over here. Mr. Ghost is doing the thing that he likes to do. I don't know if you can see him, but he's hiding the other side of the chicken coop because that's what he does. That's the thing he does. But you can see my chickens are very happy to be outside in the shade on a nice hot spring afternoon. This here is Ashley and Carolyn. They are my 2 remaining OG hens, and the other hens have all been additions to the family, including Charlie, our rooster, who is significantly nicer than Sally, our old rooster, but he is becoming a bit grouchy in his old age. And the nice thing about this, now we've cut the lawn and the grass is doing well, is that you can really see that things are starting to grow and things are starting to develop. And unlike the cold that we had a couple of weeks ago, I can't believe it's less than a month ago we had snow on the ground. In fact, it snowed not this Tuesday this week, the week I'm filming it, but it snowed the week before. So it snowed the day after we got back from England, which blows my mind, frankly. I'm just having a look to see if there were any eggs. Let's have a look. Is there anybody in there? Oh, there is. Or there was. Look at that. 2 lovely eggs, and I've already got 2 eggs already today, so lovely job. I love some fresh eggs. I'm going to put them on the truck in a minute because that's where I put my eggs so I don't forget them. Because it does happen, and I have driven down the road before with eggs just there on the truck. It's like the perfect place to put eggs while you're wandering around the garden, and then when you're done, you sometimes forget and you end up having all kinds of problems. But this year, I'm not doing a whole lot here. I know I had some plans for a bigger run, which hopefully we'll do. And we'd wanted to get goats, which wasn't our plan. And then our water pump broke, and that was $6,000. I can't remember which. It was expensive. So they may be on hold, unfortunately, this year. And with the political situation in the US as it currently stands, it's not great. But the good news is, I think I've got rid of my Italian arum, or lords and ladies, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, it normally comes up here and then further down the garden. But fingers crossed, I think the last winter killed it off, and me digging it up so much killed it off. I can't see any here. I've got to show you this. This is where the chickens love to get. It's where they like to dust bathe. And when we had all the wet weather, you can see all of the little divots that have been made. That's basically all done by my hens, because they like getting back there, and they like kind of snuggling down, and then they do their dust baths. And that is what they do, because chickens are like that. Chickens like doing things like that because chickens. And Charlie is going to make all kinds of noises because that's what Charlie does, because Charlie is a rooster and that's what roosters do. I'm going to put you all down here so I can actually tell you a little bit about some of the other things that I'm planning. I want to put in this week, I'm going to put some carrots in a tub, and the reason I've decided to put carrots in a tub is because carrots traditionally have not done very well in my garden, and we've got gophers still, and that's causing us some headaches. I'm also going to be planting my cucumbers this weekend, hopefully. I have a car to take up to Cape Walton Elliot, and I've got a couple of other things that I need to get done, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to get the cucumbers in, and then I'm going to put in some courgettes, or zucchinis, as people like to call them in North America. And I have a border collie coming this way. Are you going to come down, Ghost? We have Sky down here. Sky is at that point where she's not kind of wandering off. Mr. Ghost is very at the wandering off age because he's like 18, 19 months now, whereas Sky is... How old are you now, Sky? I think she's like 3 or 4 months now. So she's a lot younger and she tends to stick around, whereas Ghost just goes and does what Ghost wants. That's sometimes not a good thing. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. Anyway, tell me what's going on in your garden. I would love to know. And as usual, you know how to do that. You can leave us a polite note in the Discord chat room, or you can send us a note on Mastodon, or if you are a Patreon supporter, you can reach out to us there. If you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links below to regularly support us with a YouTube membership or a Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to our Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and Swag store, as well as that aforementioned Mastodon server. Scrolling on my right is a list of amazing charged up supporters, and shout outs go out to our V to G Patreon supporters. Yes, that is a new tier there. Well, it's not actually a new tier, it's a new name. They are Alan Tupper, Andrew Martin, Bennett Elder, Brophy Wolf, Chris Maxwell, Cyprian Laplace, Dan Blair, Gordon C, Hay Asker, John Trammell, Kyle Fox, Mark Eggleton, Peter Dillinger, Regine Fellows, Sean Tucker, Stefan Fremgen, Stephen Williams, Tesla in the Gong, Paul Bricknell, Tony Moss, Kyle Hodgson, Chris Santar, Denny Hyde, Lance Schall, Linda Irish, Mike Weeder, and Paul Nelson. And finally, big thanks to our off-grid supporters. Let me just call a dog because of the dog barking. Ghost, come here. They are Paul Conway, good boy, Kevin Barabridge, Stephen O'Donoghue, Jim Bennett, Robert Flannery, Aaron Hahn, Ellery Hensley, Rory Litwin, JP Fagerback, Dave Kitchen, Andrew Glenn, Anonymous Freak, Chris and Michael Johnson, Clay Witt, CPU Freak 101, Eric Knack, Joe Bresney, Joe Hughes, John Henderson, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnak, Nigel S, Reggie Watts, Will Graylin, and of course Ian. Oh my goodness, I have 2 doggos here. Look at this, 2 doggos. 2 yes, 2 doggos. The other doggo is right there. 2 doggos. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Don't forget that we produce content Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on the main channel and on the weekends. You can chill out in the garden with me with the chicken and garden update, as Charlie just crowed there, and of course the Sunday musing. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy your weekend and that it is as nice as mine is. And until next time, keep evolving.